The Flame. Part 1. In a bygone era, a team of human explorers embarked on a mission to investigate a remote planet situated in a distant galaxy. Little did they know, this planet was shrouded in a perpetual blanket of snow and ice, with frigid temperatures prevailing throughout most of the year. However, to their astonishment, a select few among them discovered an extraordinary power within themselves, the ability to manipulate and control ice. These exceptional individuals formed an exclusive group, possessing the innate talent to bend ice to their will. With their newfound capabilities, they could effortlessly regulate temperatures, fashion intricate ice structures, freeze objects at whim, and even conjure up snowstorms when necessary. Initially, this group chose to conceal their extraordinary abilities, fearing the potential ostracization from the inhabitants of this unfamiliar planet. As time elapsed, the planet's population burgeoned, and more individuals with this unique gift emerged. They commenced rigorous training to refine their skills and gradually shed their apprehensions. Recognizing the immense value of their extraordinary aptitude, they began utilizing it for the betterment of all. Their extraordinary abilities proved invaluable during times of severe snowstorms, as they skillfully carved out safe pathways for the rest of the community, ensuring their safe passage to their intended destinations. These individuals, akin to superheroes, became revered figures on the planet, their services held in high regard by all. Nevertheless, not all was harmonious. A small faction of humans, devoid of these extraordinary powers, began to feel marginalized and diminished within the community, leading to simmering tensions that eventually erupted into conflicts. This presented a formidable challenge for the ice-controlling community, as they found themselves under constant scrutiny and suspicion, fearing the erosion within the standing community. As the passage of time unveiled the true extent of their powers, the tensions between the two factions gradually abated. The initial pioneers, possessing the gift of cryomancy, earned the esteemed title of the Great Leaders, utilizing their advanced abilities for the collective welfare of the planet's inhabitants. 1 millennium later, the descendants of the Great Leaders, known as the Icians, flourished and gave rise to formidable warriors. Kings emerged, each claiming dominion over a specific region, thus dividing the lands into 4 distinct corners. However, among these rulers, one stood above all others, the enigmatic Lord of the North, Ison. Rumored to be a direct descendant of Gainor, the revered leader of the survivors, Ison's unsettling nature was a subject of much speculation. He orchestrated an annual tournament, a spectacle filled with savagery and brutality, serving as entertainment for his people. The victor not only earned the coveted crown but also the opportunity to face Ison himself, the Lord of the North. For countless years, no one had dared to challenge his authority, until the day his true ambitions for dominion were unveiled. Enter Admorphous, a young, proud, and formidable warrior. As the champion of the Lord of the North, Admorphous had been groomed by the ultimate masters of ice and snow. From the moment of his birth, he displayed exceptional power, swiftly becoming one of their most formidable defenders. His training honed his abilities, ensuring he could wield his powers with precision and mastery. Following a grueling tournament, Admorphous found himself summoned to the Grand Palace of the King, harboring a glimmer of hope to engage in a conversation with his ruler and endeavor to sway him towards a change of heart. However, upon his arrival, he was swiftly ambushed and, in his weakened state, apprehended by the king's guards, acting under orders to detain him on charges of treason. Deprived of a fair trial, Admorphous was compelled to depart from his native land with naught but the garments on his back and an unwavering determination to one day return and confront the Lord of the North, who had betrayed both him and his people. Escaping across the frigid expanses of his forsaken homeland, Admorphous eventually stumbled upon a portal that transported him to an entirely different realm, one where his mastery over ice would surpass any previous manifestation. Stepping through, he experienced a surge of exhilaration, driven by the prospect of embarking on a thrilling adventure and seeking out potential allies who could aid him in reclaiming his lost homeland and overthrowing the evil Lord of the North, the very same individual who had betrayed him. In the face of adversity, Admorphous remains unwavering in his commitment to uphold honor and fight for righteousness. He understands that it is only a matter of time before his people recognize the true intentions of the Lord of the North and rally for his return to their frozen realm. Prepared to reclaim their kingdom and reinstate justice, Admorphous is resolute in preventing their world from succumbing entirely to the clutches of avarice and tyranny. As Admorphous traversed this newfound world, he unveiled its identity as the planet Earth. Recognizing its stark dissimilarity from his homeland, he resolved to adapt to his circumstances and forge a path forward in his pursuit of justice. Soon, he encountered a group of humans engaged in a formidable struggle against formidable adversaries, each possessing their own extraordinary abilities. Astonished by Admorphous' command over ice, they welcomed him into their ranks, forming an alliance that harnessed his powers to bring an end to the conflict, thereby safeguarding the very fabric of their existence. On a momentous day, extraterrestrial intruders from Admorphous' homeland materialized on Earth. Scouring the planet, they stumbled upon its abundant water resources, collecting samples and finding no trace of Admorphous. Subsequently, they commenced a campaign of terror, freezing farmlands and towns, wreaking havoc upon the unsuspecting inhabitants. Amidst his daily chores, Admorphous keenly sensed this assault and swiftly assembled a formidable army, launching a relentless counterattack against the invaders. The ensuing battle raged for hours, resulting in significant casualties and widespread devastation to the civilization. Eventually, only a handful of invaders remained, and it was then that Admorphous encountered their leader, none other than Freezer, a covert pawn and the newly anointed champion of the Lord of the North. Freezer had been tasked with capturing Admorphous and returning him to their home world. Meanwhile, the tides of war began to shift as the invaders dwindled in numbers. On the battlefield, Admorphous and Freezer confronted each other, their clash of titans sending shockwaves through the surroundings. The exchange of powerful blows caused ice debris to rain down upon the onlookers, leaving both factions in awe of the immense power unleashed by Freezer. Freezer, impressed by Admorphous' formidable combat abilities, offers him sincere compliments. Recognizing that Admorphous is no ordinary opponent, Freezer finds himself astounded by his adversary's prowess. However, Admorphous remains vigilant and seemingly anticipates Freezer's every move. Frustrated by his failed assault, Freezer hurls his blade to the ground in a fit of aggravation, inadvertently placing it at Admorphous' feet. Unbeknownst to Admorphous, a treacherous trap lies beneath him. Suddenly, a barrage of colossal ice shards erupts from the ground, impaling him from all directions. This cowardly yet necessary maneuver is executed by the hidden pawn. Immobilized by the ice shards, Admorphous finds himself unable to move as they retract back into the blade. Overwhelmed by his defeat, Admorphous collapses, his friends crying out in anguish. Freezer commands his men to capture and restrain Admorphous, loading him onto their spaceship. As the spaceship takes off, Freezer and his men mercilessly execute the remaining members of Admorphous' army. Within the confines of the ship, Admorphous, fading from his wounds, regains consciousness. Consumed by rage, he attempts to inflict as much damage as possible to the vessel, driven by the anguished cries of his friends. Despite Admorphous' valiant efforts to inflict damage upon the ship, Freezer manages to halt the assault and retreats, fearing the complete destruction of his vessel. Subsequently, Freezer contacts the Lord of the North, relaying the news of Admorphous' capture and the discovery of water on Earth. Armed with this newfound information, the Lord of the North issues a chilling command to Freezer: execute Admorphous immediately and procure more of Earth's water resources. Following these orders, Freezer instructs his men to launch Admorphous out of the ship and into the scorching embrace of the Earth's sun. The fate that awaits Admorphous, an Icean, within the fiery depths of the sun is one of excruciating agony. Propelled from the spaceship, Admorphous hurtles towards the sun, his body instantaneously vaporized into atoms. Crushed and consumed by the sun's relentless gravitational pull, his remains are forever lost within its fiery abyss. With an air of arrogance, Freezer gleefully returns to Earth, intent on collecting water and eliminating any potential threats. With Admorphous presumed dead, he believes there is no longer any cause for concern. However, an unexpected phenomenon unfolds on the sun. Against all odds, Admorphous awakens, his eyes fluttering open, disoriented by his surroundings. Is he truly deceased? Why is everything engulfed in darkness? Suddenly, the agonizing pain from his previous demise surges through his being once more. As if struck by lightning, a breath of air crackles into his lungs, reviving him. He takes a breath and realizes he is surrounded by flames, yet he remains impervious to the searing heat. Attempting to summon his ice powers, Admorphous finds himself unable to cast even the slightest trace of his elemental abilities. Perplexed by the situation, he intensifies his efforts. Suddenly, a fiery aura engulfs his body, prompting him to question the reality of the moment. The once present ability of cryomancy has now been replaced by pyromancy.